Okay, 7 o'clock. We're ready for conservation, and it looks like we have a quorum. So good job. And we also have some new people who are interested in conservation and open space. So how about if all the existing members introduce ourselves first? My name is Chris Scott. I'm chairperson. And then who's next?
Mike Pinto, member.
Sandy LaJoy, member.
Tom Django, member.
Do we get to see any pictures or
I
anything?
thought you would like to. Something.
Nice.
But he's not right, it's not vice chair, you're not. You're like manager.
Marcella, I'm trying to promote you to panelist.
Alan Miano, member.
Excellent. And
There's Marcella.
Woohoo!
okay. So Marcella, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Marcella.
Okay, excellent. And I know we have 2 people interested in conservation and or open space. So if you guys are still here, I know I saw 1 person on the screen. But anyway, well, that's who we are, and I'm very happy to have new interesting people. And Mary, we have our 7:20 was rescheduled. And Mary, what time was that rescheduled to?
Schedule it to 7 at the next meeting.
Oh, okay, great. Our November 13th meeting. And just in case you didn't notice, November we have 1 meeting, and December we have 1 meeting. So don't cry. Okay. Holidays come into our business. And so we have reports. And Mary, what do you have for us?
Can we do a continuance vote to continue 169 South Street?
I have a motion to continue 169 South Street. No 7 o'clock on November 13th.
So moved.
Give us a
Second.
second. Okay, Chris, I.
Tom,
Alan, I.
Sandy.
Michael.
Marcella, I.
Okay, now let's vote on the commission. Okay, so Mary, how about your report, please?
All right. I think the main thing to note on this page here, I got a complaint today. This is number 4, 154 West River. Someone called just complaining about stockpiling manure near the river. This is on West River. And I feel like we've dealt with this property before. And I haven't been out to look at it or anything or call them yet. Who lives there? That's that little farm. There's a little farm there. 154 West River.
Second.
Like Stone Arbor, maybe?
Is that the horse farm?
Yeah.
Bridge. Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, is that the property after the soccer field, same side?
It's near 144. I think it's closer to 145 with a new,
The new.
the big pile of rubble. That's turning into a garage.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, I feel like there's been some talk of this property before. If anybody remembered off the top of their head, they could say something. Otherwise, I'll just try and call them and see what's going on.
We don't seem to have any horses there anymore, do they? Did they move the horses out?
Yeah, I don't
Do they
know.
have all the horses?
They put out, if you look at the aerial, there's a whole bunch of fenced in enclosures.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's some up
And
on the road too.
Yeah, there's some.
But I think the people, the person who lived there who did the horse boarding has moved away.
Oh, really?
Just
Okay.
rumor, just, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what we're all about.
Yeah, rumors.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll just try to give them a call and see what's going on. And Pratt Pond, I guess there's beavers down working near the dam, but Mike Moran's already on top of that. Somebody called us first as well. Hello.
Hi, can I join you?
Have a
Sorry.
seat. No, that's fine. And then other news is, we had reached out to the residents of Two Dogwood to kind of restart negotiations with them. I did hear back from them, and I have a meeting scheduled with them for November 18th, me and Joe and Mike Antonellis. That seemed like a good start. They already have, sent a few of their concerns. I think you saw what I had written last time, and just the three concerns were, they don't really want a large kiosk next to their driveway, the size of the signs, and then the fence. If the fence has to be moved, they want the town to pay for that. And so that seems like it might be negotiable, I'm not sure. And then the language in the easement. Then the other thing they were concerned about was maintenance. They're concerned about, getting muddy, like who's gonna maintain a trail there. Okay. And then they said if the town can't come up with the money, they'd be happy to get rid of the easement.
You need money for, what does the town need money for?
If we hire an engineer to redraw the plans and easement moved.
Why don't we just leave it where it is?
Well, actually, part of the problem is that I think technically there's part of it which there's a problem there.
Okay.
Yeah, so the idea here would be to resolve all the problems that exist. And so honestly, at this point, I don't think it's going to be that expensive to have a new plan on.
Okay.
And I like the idea of the fence just because it separates the easement from their property,
Right, yeah,
which actually makes for good
privacy.
neighbors.
yeah,
No, I mean, no issues with it either, it's the easement goes right through their yard.
Yeah, and I think part of this is to try to get it so that it comes in farther down and then goes along the edge of the property. Yeah.
The other side of the rock.
Yeah, exactly. So that it's not, doesn't feel so much like we're walking through their front yard.
and there, Tom, there is an existing trail there actually that people use to
Yeah.
you've been on it. So that's the update with that, so. And. So just pictures here, it's 343 Mendon Street, he hasn't returned my call, but you can see he put a few bushes up, it's great.
5%.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Here, got a lot of those.
And then it's just High Street. This is a 27 James Road, the 4-lot 40B that's under construction. It doesn't really have wetland, but we're kind of overseeing the erosion and sedimentation control permit for them.
Whereabouts is that now, Jim?
So if you, it's Westboro Road, like right near Pratt Pond, there's a road that cuts off.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. A little dead end road.
Yep.
So it's such a quiet street. This is kind of a big development.
Yeah, I know, I know I've driven by, I couldn't remember what it was, but yeah.
Oh, and then 22 Eames, I believe Tim Berry is on the line. Do we want to, should we talk about that now, Chris? We may as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tim, let's see if I can get Tim. Allow him to talk. I gotta stop sharing, I think.
Yeah.
Tim, let us know when you're on and talking. Oh, there he is.
All right. I was wondering how I'd be able to speak and see. Now I can see. That's great. So, hi, everybody. So, yeah, so I guess picking up, Mary, what you were just saying, did the restoration of the work. Mary came out, reviewed. I sent her pictures as well as, removing the gravel and restoring it with the topsoil in loam back to the condition of what it was. So the remaining work to be done is just to install the boundaries, which we had a conversation about the other day. I got to just get the signs for those, and I'll just have Allen Engineering come out and just stake where those go and put those in. But these are just progress photos I took just during the summer to obviously timing wise, trying to coordinate everything and do that. So provided these to Mary. So.
Any questions? Mary, any questions?
So yeah, it looks like you put in the new topsoil and
Yep, stripped it down to the original subgrade that was there. Took out the gravel, and then actually the developer right next door, only a few 100 feet away, let me take a bunch of topsoil from there. So the soil is as native and virgin as it can be close by. So.
yeah, so this is just kind of a progress report because he still has to get the bounds installed, right?
Yep.
That's the next thing. I did have near map pictures that if I can find, I'll show those too, but it might take me a minute to find them.
Any questions from the commission?
And from a timing perspective, Mary, I can get those bounds in the next couple of weeks. I've been traveling a lot for work, but I think Friday I'll be around, so maybe I'll swing in and purchase the signs for the bounds, and then I'll have Alan come out next week and stake those, and then I can connect with you in the next week or two and make sure everything's in place.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Can you guys see this? No, not sharing the right thing. Yeah, so I feel like if you can get those in, I don't know, by December, do you think you can do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I'll just show you, this is kind of the sequence of pictures that we have. Maybe we should start at the beginning. So this was 21 before anything happened, right? So you can see the driveway, and you can see that there was, it was pretty flat actually off the driveway, right, Tim, before going into the wetland?
Yeah, gentle slope off the driveway, and then it dropped off, like, kind of where you can see that there.
Yeah.
A little more substantial, so.
And then this shows the work, this is March 30th, 2023, the extra gravel, et cetera.
Yeah, and what was done in between then and between those two photos was the septic system on the house during the purchase when I purchased it, and then the leach field. That all happened behind the barn. And so where the a lot of the equipment and all that stuff kind of going in and out, they cleared all that stuff behind the barn and then a little bit to the left side there. So, we covered this, a while ago, but, I didn't know that was wetland. And when they were done, there was no finish. I think they were supposed to actually put the bounds in and stuff like that. So, but then they never came back. So, obviously I need some, it's real estate, it's mine, so that's how we ended up here, but, obviously restoring that and putting it back, so.
And here, when you did the work, but this is from April of this year, it looks like you'd already done
Yep.
some.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody remembers, it was an awful wet spring. So I was trying to fit it in as much as I could, so I started digging it out, taking that out, and then, just got extremely busy and, weather, and then, extremely busy over the summer, but I just picked away at it and dug it out, and then, did most of the work, I'd say, middle of the summer. So,
Alright, so
and I did plant some blueberry bushes in there and so forth, but then it seems like we got all the rain early in the year and then nothing happened, and just, they didn't take too well with the dry heat over the summer.
yeah, so this is kind of the progress. Yeah, so it seems like he did it pretty well as he could. And then I think just make sure we're all okay for him to go ahead and put the bounds in. I think that's reasonable. It's made a good effort to restore it.
How many bounds, Mary?
Whatever's on the plan.
think
You've got
it's
the
five.
plan, right?
Yeah,
Five.
I think there's 5, yeah. 4 or 5.
Does anyone have questions? Hearing none, nice job.
Thank you. All right, Mary, I'll touch base with you in the next week or two.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
This is 17 School Street, if you guys will remember. This is the gentleman who had to put the sewer line through the wetland, which we granted him permission for, and then putting the sewer line in, he must have disturbed a pipe that caused flooding in the neighboring lot. So I finally got out there and looked at his installation, so he replaced the pipe, and this is what it looks like. There has not been flooding since then, but then again, there hasn't been rain. And looks relatively stable.
What is that, a storm drain?
This here,
The pipe? It's like a manhole.
yeah. That's the, yeah, I'm not exactly sure they had a pipe there's a pipe that was going, I think the inlet to the pipe was way over here. And then somehow, this is like another must be inlet, I don't know exactly how it works. You figured it out, hopefully it works.
When you say he, you mean Bill?
This is Bill Andrews.
Oh, I don't know. So,
Yeah, it seems reasonable that him and the neighborhood complained that there was flooding and they skipped in on that one. This is 46 School Street, along. Garage. It's a gas station, they seem to be pretty much done. Kind of waiting for them to request a certificate of compliance, but they haven't yet.
I was looking at that and it's diesel fuel on the side of the building. So do the trucks pull in and then back out, or do they drive around the building?
Probably go around it.
Not that the traffic flow is our problem, but
They
it could
probably
be
go
if they run over something.
Yeah, I wonder if they went before planning board for this, I have no idea.
Well, they used to have the diesel tank right in front with the other gas tanks.
Right,
Right.
Yeah, so now it's just going around the bend.
All that looked like around the back was a fire lane.
right. Yeah, that's been there. They
Yeah.
made it smaller, a little bit smaller, because they put in a little bit more grass there.
Not our problem.
Yeah.
Could be somebody's problem.
Yeah, and then this is 93 Crockett Road, demolition and new house construction. It's coming along very nicely. It's a small lot, so they're, wait, I have, how many, let's see, picture. Sorry about that. They have, this is on the side, they gotta be careful, should give them a call, it's getting a little bit close, but I don't think it's gonna in the end cause issues with the leak. This is 105 Crockett Road, this was a huge septic undertaking, the one that's across the road, and it looks like it's mostly done. A lot of engineering with that one too. They had to redo the driveway. Put in some lovely plantings. Ready for soap. And it's top of the mound. And they still haven't finished, this is drainage along the road. Your street, replication area.
And you fix the drainage on one property on Crockett, the water just goes down to the next one.
Yeah, Crockett.
Okay. It's a full day's job out there for you.
Yeah. And then this is 146 Westboro Road, they're getting ready for requesting a certificate of compliance. Things look fine there. And he's gonna pull the silt fence down. Yeah, so one thing that did not make my report, but I ended up putting it in the packet was, and I had sent it out in an email, the letter from Sudbury Valley trustees to Five Forks Farm about the CR, just what we discussed. And hopefully people, did you guys get a chance to look at that?
Right.
Yeah, so if you want, we can look at it more.
I did have just a question, I mean. Those, the stones that were specified are pretty small.
Oh, fine. Right,
You haven't been against the count.
I mean, I don't know if there's any way to go back to grades, probably not, but. It's like two, these typically stone walls have
right.
larger stones.
Right, so it's funny, we looked at these were the kind of the stone walls in the middle. And there was actually an older section that was composed of little, really tiny stones, but then they put big stones on top. And we were like, well, it's already like that a little bit. So we just agreed to allow her to put some of those little tiny stones there, as long as she tried to cap them.
Yeah,
Cap
that'd
it.
be fine for cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, yeah,
That's also are used as fill,
right.
and if that's what she's doing, it's fine.
So, I mean, they may be visible from the outside too, on the lower, but eventually they're not gonna be able to make a very good wall, so. Yeah, that was,
Yeah, that's fine.
so that was that, and there's one other thing not on the agenda. When I was out looking at 146 Westboro Road, he had a question about bounds, and I'll share my screen for 142. (142) is, can you guys see this? It's really, these are those lots, so the really long driveways, okay? And we actually changed the driveway, so this plan is not quite right. The driveways are actually right next to each other, right on the property line. Because of that, he wants to, and I makes it's hard to see, but the bounds on the plan are all in red here. So here's the house. There's a bunch of bounds here, wetlands over here. Few bounds there. Wetland crossing is here. There's bounds there. Wetland replication area. And then this whole section near the road, there's supposedly 3 more bounds. But he just asked to not put them in because this is all wooded now because the driveway's actually over here. So that was a request that he had to not put those 3 bounds in. I told him that was fine with me, but I would just bring it before you guys.
There's no wetlands there, right?
Well, there is a wetland here. You can't, I don't think you can do much. I mean, you could clear it, I guess, potentially. But you can't like any building there or anything. It's too small an area. So we could just say you just have to put them up no matter what, but he was hoping not to because it was all just gonna be woods. Just be 3 bounds of
Why did we want them in the beginning? Because
the driveway was here.
This is so long.
They were along the edge of the driveway.
All the way along the driveway.
So yeah, they were going all the way along the driveway. And it's, at this point, it's only 3, so it's not that usually.
How many others do we have?
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it's a lot. It's big, but this is 1,000-foot long driveway.
Only. We're comfortable with them.
Is there any possibility in the future someone would want to clear those trees?
There is a possibility, although this is actually. Not that this really matters, but it's the builder's, he's building this house for himself, actually, so. I don't know that that makes a difference or not, at least he knows that he's not supposed to cut the trees down.
Well, what, the wetlands to the left of the bounds,
Yes,
looking
this
at the
is,
screen.
yeah.
Okay,
Now you want me to zoom in a little bit more for this section?
is that a hillside? Is that, am I looking at it?
Yes, so Westboro Road, this is pretty high up here, there's a bunch of ledge, then it drops pretty quickly into the. There we go. It's a pretty steep slope.
So is there concern about cutting along, the driveway is further to the right?
The
So would there
driveway,
be any reason they to clear that or anything?
I can't. Yeah, I don't know. Unless you decided you just wanted like that one house or one seen from the road and I don't know,
Well, I mean, the wetland's there, right? So I mean, he has to be,
right?
no matter what, even whether bounds or not, he has to be so far from the wetland.
Right.
So if any clearing went, we could address it. I guess.
Yeah, anyway, or we could just say it's only 3 bounds, just do all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you want to do one. Does one go toward near the road near West Bar, off of that?
Well, the ones that he wants to get rid of are in green here, this one here. Up in there, and maybe,
Maybe that both security.
Maybe space them out a little wider.
Well, I,
put one in
if
the
there's,
middle or something.
yeah, or something. I don't.
Compromise
Not that
themselves.
he needs all of them, but I think I'd like at least one. There's one towards the road, I think I'd like that one put in.
Oh, this one here.
I can't see one there, so.
Yeah, this one is actually at the 100-foot line. I wonder why that one's there. This one, this is at the 100-foot. This one's near the 30. That one's near the 30.
I would like at least one of those to be put in,
Okay,
just, I mean, the other members may disagree. I just would. Cause he may not, he may live there for a few years and stuff,
exactly.
so that's what I'm concerned about.
If the line of the bound goes down and stops, then the message is that the wetland is stopped. But if the bounds are spread out somewhat
I
to contain the whole area, he could have maybe a couple less. And still we'd have the area marked.
would like the one by the closest to the road in, and maybe the next one up, but I don't think we need the other one between it. That's my opinion, that matters.
I agree with Tom. If they didn't hear
Okay,
that, future owners, we need to know that. Do you have any other questions or comments from the commission? Or from the audience? So Mary, do you want us to make a motion about that?
Sure, yeah. Clarify what we're doing here.
Okay, we have a motion to clarify the number of bounds in this property.
so the motion that I'm making is that we keep the lower 2 bounds, the ones closest to Westbrook Road, remove the next bound going towards the home.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second,
Second,
Let's do a voice vote. Chris, I.
I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Okay.
Marcella, I.
It's a unanimous vote of the commission. Thank you, Mary.
All right, I think that's it for my report.
Thank you. Now I know we have administrative report next.
Yes, so there's minutes and a voucher.
Okay, did everyone read the minutes from September 25th?
Yes.
Yep.
Are there any questions or comments? Let's make a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
How about a
Second.
second? Okay, voice vote. Chris, aye.
Aye.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Marcella, I.
It's unanimous vote of the commission. Thank you, Mary. And how about our voucher?
Yeah, this was just a credit card voucher for the post office to send that enforcement order. Costs $10 now to do those.
Okay, do you have a motion to pay our bills?
So moved.
Second.
How about, okay, voice vote. Chris, aye.
Aye.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Mike, aye.
Marcella, I.
Unanimous vote of the commission. Thank you. And anything else to sign?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Now, before we go much further, we should recognize our visitors who are here who might be interested in conservation. I know we had, I think she's gone, Kara, and then we have second person, was that Laura? Okay, so just to let you know, we already went through and said who we are. So let's do that one more time. Chris Scott, chairman.
Be a quiz later. I'm Sandy.
And Mike.
Tom.
Alan.
Laura. Oh, sorry. You're Laura. Laura. I do have an order.
And I'm Bill Taylor.
And I'm Marcella Stasha.
And Phil really involved in open space. So Laura, what were your things that you're interested in with open space and conservation?
Well, I've been living over on Kiwanis Beach for about 16 years and love the area. And during that time, I don't know, I've wondered how things work here in Upton with the wetlands and such, because I go down to the power lines and of course Pratt Pond there, and I don't know, I guess I just wanted to see how this worked. And most recently, I know you guys have been talking about the house across the street from where I live. You know, that kind of, I thought to myself, I really should get involved, you know, not just when it's on my street, but you know, this has been years I've had questions and stuff, so I just thought I'd come and see what it was all about.
There you go.
Well,
See how the sausage is made.
Exactly.
Any questions for us?
welcome.
Thank you.
I think Kiara has her hand raised.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I was still here.
Okay, Kira, we know we saw you going in and out, but I know you're interested in the conservation and open space.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I currently work for the town of Brookline as the Code Enforcement and Visitor Services Supervisor for their Parks Department. But I've been involved in parks and open spaces through my entire professional and educational career. I went to Merrimack College for environmental studies. So it's a passion of mine, and serving my community is really important to me. So I just moved to Upton in March, and I'm hoping to get involved in the community. And this seemed like a perfect opportunity to serve my community in an area that I have some strength in.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us. And to Laura and Kira, And basically, we actually have openings on open space and one on conservation. And before we had an extra member for conservation. So both people would need to go through the selectmen and write them a letter of interest. We would love to have you here.
Also an opening on land stewardship committee.
A lot of opportunities.
Multiple opportunities.
And as it turns out, the Open Space Committee is meeting tomorrow evening virtually. So if you're interested in learning more about the Open Space Committee tomorrow night, if you're available, would be a good time to do it. The link to the meeting is on the town's website as well as the agenda. And as Chris pointed out, if you are interested, you have to complete a position interest form, which you would find on the selectmen's page. And Kara, I see you wrote a detailed letter and included your resume. You really could probably just fill out the form and reference those things, attach those two things to whatever you submit.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And I know when I from an open space perspective, I thought you were interested in joining the Open Space Committee, and I think your experience and education would be a great fit for it. And I'm sure we would welcome you to the committee. So
Thank you so much.
And Laura, the same for you. We'd love to have you join us.
Thank you.
Okay, and so we have more of our meeting to go through, and tonight it's unusual that we don't have any official hearings, but usually we have a few. Okay, so next thing we have is open space.
all of our projects are kind of on hold at this point. So I really have not a lot to report. I did want to ask the Conservation Commission about an approach that SVT is taking, and that is to approach the owners of properties that are in the tax taking process to see if they're interested in perhaps donating or selling the land as part of resolving the tax taking piece of it. Sounds reasonable to me, but there may be reasons why we wouldn't want to seem like we're preying on people having trouble. But the approach is always going to be, are you interested in, or we're happy to work.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to be sure.
I agree.
Anything else for open space?
No, not right now.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Now land stewardship.
I can say something. Greg Trussell has, I believe he's done with the mowing. He may have one more day left over at Stephens, but he did a really nice job at Howard Glen. Really looked beautiful. He really knocked back a lot of the stuff that was coming in along the edges. So that was a nice thing. And tomorrow is, for anyone who's interested, there's a work day that Sudbury Valley Trustees is hosting at the District 9 Schoolhouse Conservation Area. And if I believe that's at 2:00, and you have to RSVP through Sudbury Valley Trustees if you are interested. And we have a land stewardship work date this Sunday. I've heard back from a few people, but we can still use a few more bodies if you're interested. We're going to be doing some work over at Whitney East, meeting at 11:00 at the parking area at the trailhead at the near Far Fork Farms.
Any questions for Marcella? Nice job, Marcella. Thank you. And for our discussion items, we have the resource management plan update for Upton State Forest and Blackstone River So, Mike, do you have things on this?
I took a first crack at providing some comments for the commission. Sure. Some of them are really kind of technical, but there are some that, you know, I didn't want to just poll the commission to see what they think of the comment. What I'm thinking is would probably also be a cover letter that will go with this. With this, I used kind of a form type format. Can't actually read them from here, but that's all right.
No, let's zoom in.
There were a couple comments that I just wanted to discuss, and maybe, maybe people have other questions. One of the comments I'm suggesting is that we encourage the DCR to pay Pratt Hill Road. That road is, from many of you know, it's very, very badly eroded. There's a big pile of gravel at the base of it.
That gravel was put there by DPW.
Because it was running into the neighbor's property.
But still, there's a lot of.
Oh, absolutely.
So that was one comment. I just wanted people thought of it. Another kind of oddball comment was for them to consider putting a boardwalk and maybe any observation area in the bogs, in the south of the bogs,
That's nice.
Where would you put that?
somewhere. It's not, I mean, it's in our job to.
No,
You'd have to, spend some time thinking where to put it, but.
coming off the parking lot?
Yeah, probably, or someplace close to that, and the idea would be accessible too.
Not on the road itself, it's kind of tight, that's a.
Right now, we go out into the wetland, but.
Right.
And actually another, it's not on this thing too, but there's also a state program. That has funding for accessible fishing platforms. I don't know if Dean Pond's probably too distant for accessible fishing. I think Pratt Pond would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know, I talked a fair amount about the South Road berms, that they did say that they were gonna, evaluate them and remove the vegetation, but I think we need to do much more there. Those berms are, over 100 years old, both of the outlets are, beaver pipes. And I think someone should consider the climate resiliency of those berms. It would be kind of tragic if those berms failed and lost the great deal of that wetland system. We lose it all, some of the ones that they maintain. So it's better than one.
Burns. Burns.
Yeah, it's why it's a.
I did have some questions if no one.
Sure.
I think you were suggesting that DCR buy property that is not abutting your existing. Can you speak a little bit more about that?
I did, I'm not sure which version. Did you see the latest version? This is, I did expand a little bit, but I gave did you see where I gave the example of Misco Bill? That's the latest.
Yeah, I guess you just need to, if you could just explain it to me.
There's a line in the plan that says, they talk about, basically looking to preserve parcels that are adjacent to the state forest right now. And what this comment says is, expand your reach a little bit and think about, potentially preserving parcels that are adjacent to town land or land trust land, or even ones that are isolated. I gave them Misco Hill as an example. Misco Hill area. I don't know what their policy is in terms of acquisitions, if they really just have policy just above properties.
I don't know either, and of course they have a budget, so. But, okay.
That was the thought. You could probably expand on it, but again, any of these comments that people don't think they're appropriate than the others.
Did you send that around? Did I miss this?
I think it's part of the packet.
Oh, okay, I haven't gone through the packet.
He emailed me otherwise, maybe emailed them to me and different.
I did
Under
it because
friends.
friends, yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is. I sent them just to Mary, the bill for the friends.
No, I see.
I guess that's the other thing, Bill, if any of the comments conflict with something the friends would, something. Let us know.
No, nothing so far, but the board didn't meet last night, Monday night, because my Zoom broke. We're meeting this upcoming Monday, and that's when we'll talk about what comments we'd like to make. Now, I can tell you personally, one thing I would like to see is, well, I guess a couple things. A better coordination between DCR and local, land trusts and communities in terms of joining or create trail systems that that work ecologically and such, but tie properties together. And I think there's some specific acquisitions that DCR could make, not some very minor, but will provide public access from roads and such for certain parcels, like the old Riverdale Road off of West River Street. I think if they just acquired that so people could get up into the area of West River Street, that would be a good place, and I could probably think of a couple more. It's just a question of the majority. Strip of land to be sure people can get to some of these properties.
You're talking about the paving, oh, sorry. Oh, no, you're talking about paving Pratt Hill Road. Would that have an effect on the horseback riding?
I don't know that, I'm not aware that the people ride up that road.
Well, yeah, a lot of times they walk in front of my house with horses. I assume they go out there. I don't know if they go out to this main road.
I mean, the horses walk on the paved road.
It's just something I was thinking of because they walk by the house at night, although not as much as they used to. Well, frankly, but I do know that I do get horses walking by my house.
They avoid paved roads, but they do walk.
Yeah, but would it be an issue walking up?
Probably be easier than the run it out eroded roads.
Oh, yeah, and honestly, something needs to be done.
Yeah.
Some erosion control has to be done. And it's probably something that I would think DCR can make the case that it needs to be shared with the people who have that road is really at this point interesting.
The town water supply up there, there's the cell tower up there.
Right, and cell towers, so there's a lot of people who need to get up there. And then you also got to prevent it from littering people's yards across the street.
One thing I wanted to mention was, I think like this is due on October 30th. Being submitted.
They're due October 30th, is that what you said, Chris?
Right.
You're doing the Zoom meeting, Chris, October 30th.
Yes,
They've already had their meeting, right? With their-
Yeah.
There's another, a
Oh,
different
there's
one,
another one.
not for, I'm thinking, is it, Chris, are you thinking about the one that's done by the central planning about Upton?
CPA.
one for-
See,
is
yeah.
there another one for the state?
Never mind, I'm confusing things. Go ahead with what you're trying to say, Chris.
I know there's a Central Mass one with CBC on the 30th. I was wondering if the comments need to go in state by the 30th or 31st.
Yeah, the comments need to be submitted to the state by the 30th or 31st, I forget exactly, but by the end of the month. So you got about a week to get them in.
I did have another couple of comments that we're discussing. One is, they talk about closing some trails along the south side of the West River. For environmental reasons, because of this is sensitive environmental area, perhaps of rare species. They don't, obviously they don't identify the rare species, but you know, in my mind, you know, possibly what rare species could be so sensitive that you know, we put at risk by a trail. And somehow I tried to ask them that. You know, I just can't think of the rare species. Also, like, you know, there's some rare orchid, you know, and you just relook at the trail. But most species, rare species can tolerate some recreation. So I think we should ask more about that because I would like to see more trails. Every developed trail system rather than closing down, especially that trail. Which goes kind of unpleasant street, you know, some research. The other thing, another comment in there is ask them to consider some more satellite parking areas. You know, maybe just smaller, 3-4 lot parking areas. The West River Complex, in West Street. And then also think about neighborhoods. I personally have a corner of Grafton Road in King Street. There's a trail that starts. Just so people in the neighborhood can walk from their house to the trail and get into the state forest system. I think they should, you know, look for opportunities like that, closing down this kind of road. That's a rural trail. Rather than closing down the trails and realize that they're beneficial to neighborhoods.
So, other
So
comments?
from recreational and perspective, I absolutely agree with that. And I think essentially there needs to be a dialogue, right? It benefits the community, but you know, we have to understand there are the issues that they're trying to remedy. So I'm sure there's some way that can be worked out. But that again is the same sort of thing where you basically have to coordinate with the community. Because that's the community building the trail, you know, on an informal basis at the very least. So yes, I would agree with that. And I did notice you changed the item which says I concur that a kiosk should be built at the Pleasant Street parking lot, which actually I discovered recently. There's another reason why there should be a kiosk there. That parking lot is being used by VVT students.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, gosh, yeah, because
They're full.
I know, because I sometimes eat lunch there. And I used to fish there, and what it is BVT has, well, basically, no, you have to be, like, I think a senior or something to drive, so a lot of these kids aren't from Upton or anything, they're from all over. And the bus is, you know, an hour and 25-minute ride, so they drive, but they park there because they're not allowed to park at BVT. So it started with just like 2, and then they all told their buddies apparently because it's full.
Yeah, I took a call from an Upton resident who went over there to put his kayaks.
Yeah, fish and stuff.
Yeah, he couldn't get anything. He had to take the kayaks off, you know, parked on Pleasant Street, which is not a good thing.
Well, you can get in there, you just.
I think he had a trailer.
Oh, okay.
So in any case, I reported that to ECR. But I was gonna make this note. Actually, I was gonna copy that comment out of the resource plan and put it in a note to the people at ECR. I said, you're right, you do need a kiosk.
So that is DCR property?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's one of 3 parking areas that they've identified for Upton State Forest.
Yeah, because it's not, I mean, they stock fish there too, we stock the river right there.
But there's nothing there that alert me to that.
No, I fished there and parked there for over 30 years, and I didn't know.
Yeah,
I just thought it was some parking lot left over from
no, no.
whatever.
And it got called out in resource management. Resource.
Maybe that area can be labeled as part of the DCR property. Any other questions or comments for Mike? Or Bill? So Mike, where do you want us to go from here?
Well, we don't meet another time before the comments are due, so if someone wants to make a motion that, you know, I'm authorized to submit these, or Mary is authorized maybe to submit these comments. Have the commission with edits and also with attachments. I've got several attachments planned. Some information.
Okay, we have a motion to authorize Mary or Mike to submit these comments with attachments to the DCR.
So moved.
Second,
Mr. Voice vote, Chris, I.
I.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
Michael,
Marcella, I.
That's a unanimous vote of the commission. Thank you, Mike and Bill, for putting this together. So if we're looking at discussion items, we already talked about Dogwood West. Todd Line Turnpike. Anything new about that?
Well, there's an email about just a training people can watch, that came out late today. Did everyone get that?
Okay.
No.
I'll forward it.
Is that the spotted lanternfly?
I got the original stuff, but I didn't get any new stuff.
With this code, I assumed it went to everybody.
I got it.
You got
New
it.
stuff?
Yeah, today they announced it. They announced today as an actual presentation. The other stuff was an online video thing.
Okay.
Yes, it's just a presentation, but I think it'll probably be useful.
So we were sent an email on
Sending it right now.
that? Oh, I was gonna say.
Do you see, what's the date? Do you have that in front of you?
Well, the one that Jen Forthman
Yeah.
came today at like 3 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock.
Oh, what's the date and timeline?
Today, 3:43.
No, the event itself.
Oh, I'm sorry. The time of the event is, there's one on the 13th, which I guess is our meeting, but it's during the morning meeting. Yeah, that's the next one,
During the day.
10 to 11:15.
Okay.
Anything else under discussion items?
We have on the line Tim Salt. I don't know if Tim, you would like to talk to the commission. He called me today with a question. And I thought you guys might want to answer that. Tim, do you want to, I'll allow you to talk. Do you want to present your situation?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, so I live on 35 Cider Mill Lane. I have about 4 3/4 of an acre, and there's a wetlands on a 1/4 of an acre of the property. I was trying to build a fence for possible livestock in the future. And I just submitted the application about an hour ago with a sketch of the layout of the land, and it has the wetlands on the map, and I just drew on there where the fence is going to be. I'm trying to install a fence within 50 feet, or just at the 50 feet marker from the wetlands, and it would be for some chickens, goats, maybe a cow. I mean, we're just trying to get it all approved first before we go any further with it. Yeah, that's it right there.
Waiting for the property. You know what?
What kind of a fence?
Just a wooden fence, no like metal, nothing. It's on power lines land right now, so the land is already all cleared out, and there's some like 2-foot brush in there. I would like to mow. But there's already a few trails and roads through there from National Grid or New England Power Company.
So there's the wetland right here, right?
Yep.
And then if we put on the aerial, you can see better what it is.
Yeah, you can see like the power lines and all that. And there's already that up at the top. Yeah, there's already a horse riding ring that's pretty close to the wetland already. So I figured it'd be a similar situation. I would actually probably be a little further from the wetland than the horse ring is.
So Tim, when you submitted it, did you submit it online with the state?
I did. I think it was DEP.
Yep, great. So if you can, because when those get submitted online, we don't actually get copies. So if you can email me what you submitted, that would be great.
Yeah, get your email.
Oh, I can check my email and see if you already did.
If you send me the email, I could just email it right over to you.
Okay, yep.
It's just a sketch. It's not like an official drawing. It's just a quick sketch with the fence layout over the satellite imagery, but it also has the wetlands on the satellite imagery.
Tim, do you want to give me your email or?
Yeah, it's Timothy Salt, so TIMOTHY SAULT @gmail.com.
Yes, I had said he might want to bring it. I had told him, well, probably should file, but it's kind of borderline because it's just a fence. But then when you talk to the animals, I'm like, maybe we should file. So that's kind of why I got him on here to see what you guys thought. And since he's already submitted it, we'll just let him file and review it when the time comes. But that's what's coming up. So.
Then RDA?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Next meeting.
fun. So, Timothy, so next meeting we'll have you on for your presentation. And any questions from the commission or the audience?
No.
Actually, I was wondering, you said that part of this is on National Grid easement. Does National Grid have to be contacted about any change of use like this? Or the other thing that National Grid does is regularly come through and manage the vegetation, both by cutting it and by using herbicides. So I don't know if that's going to affect the animals.
I already got it approved with them. Their head of the forestry, he's come out to the property already and walked it. He basically told me I can do whatever I want with it as long as they have access. And if I maintain the land, they won't spray herbicide, pesticide, none of that. As long as I can, I basically would have to clear out the brush as it grows. But that was all he really wanted from me.
Great. I'm glad you dotted those I's and crossed those T's.
Yeah.
So, anything else? I'm glad you came, Timothy. So, with that said, do we have actually, if any other questions from either Kira or Laura?
I have lots of questions, but we'll wait for later. It's okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Kira, anything from you?
No, I don't have any questions right now.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
How about a second?
Second,
Okay, let's do a voice vote. Chris, aye.
online.
Alan, I.
Sandy, I.
But,
Marcella, I.